Okay, go ahead.
Okay, welcome to Empowerment Through Intuition. Tonight's show is animal communication. So we're going to teach you and give you some great stories, and then you can get a hold of Fluffy and Muffy and and have some good conversations.
Did you remember to hit the record button?
I remember to hit the record button this time. Thank you very much. I'm Nora Truscello, two-time best-selling author and intuitive expert, and my partner in crime. I shouldn't say that. My partner in intuition
is Chris Gerganis from Conversations with Chris. I'm a healer, I'm a teacher, I'm a minister, and I'm a psychic and medium.
And
How
she's
fun
my
can
friend.
that be?
We have so much fun together. So those of you who have not joined us before, you will discover we do a lot of chattering. But in that chatter, we answer lots of questions, and we do get the conversation. We usually walk away with quite a bit of good information. So for those of you who are used to this, sorry, you got to hear it again. If you are new to us, hit the little address thing that's above the Facebook feed and join in the webinar, because it's inside the webinar where the Q&As are. And where the Q&As are, you can ask us questions and we can answer them live. We do try our best to keep an eye on the feed in Facebook, but we can't guarantee it. We can only guarantee what's going on this side, in the webinar side. So that being said, while we wait a few moments and make sure Chris and I are clicking all the right buttons, we want to tell you about the Atlantic City show. Last chance, guys, to win a free ticket is tonight. So once again, if you have a sense of what color Chris and I are thinking of, make sure you put them into the feed on the chat. I can't promise you I'll see them on the Facebook side, but as you see, I keep looking over. I will look and do my best to grab it. So if you think you know the color that we will reveal just before the end of the show, put it in. Chris, I am getting no chat, and I know there's chat going on. Are you seeing yours?
Hang on. Chat. Hold on, I gotta see the webinar. No, I'm not getting any webinar chat.
Okay. Somebody say hello on the chat for us, just so we make sure it's working properly, because I know you guys usually are talking by now, and there's quite a few of you in the webinar. So would somebody type something? Oh, thank you, Diane. Okay, super. Thank you, Becky. All right, super. And then we can stop worrying about that.
Nora was the only one worrying.
I worry about these things. It's my job to make sure that you guys get your answers and we have a good time. And this has been such an awesome community. Chris and I can't believe we are almost a year doing this. I think next month, Chris, it's 1 year. So you guys have built a nice community, and it's been really fun and such an honor to get to do these with you. And I am excited about this conversation. I love animals. A cute little thing, my mom's like amazing when it comes to animals. If you take my mother to the zoo, and you are not getting out at the normal amount of time that people walk through a zoo, because she has to stop at each cage. And then it's like she just connects with each animal. She doesn't realize it. She says she is, but I don't know if she really knows she is. She literally connects with each animal, expresses how beautiful they are, shares things with them, and then she listens and yeah, oh, well, thank you, and then moves on to the next animal. It's just wonderful to watch her. And it's not because she's, out there or something, because that's not my mom. She's a very grounded, very smart woman, level-headed, spiritual, but it's amazing to watch. It really is.
She's just a natural communicator.
She so is. And she shared with me once, she says, when I was younger, I used to hug every tree going to school. And I didn't understand why everyone wasn't hugging the trees. They talk to you. I said, I know, Mom. She goes, but I got made fun of so much that I just stopped, and I just would like kind of say hi in my head as I walked by. She finds out I'm telling you all these secrets.
You're dead.
She'll never know. I'll deny it.
She'll blame it on me is what'll really happen. Chris must have told her, Mom.
Yeah, really. That's a good one. I'm going to use that. So again, the Atlantic City show is this weekend, this Saturday. We're very excited. We do have some tickets left, and we did save another ticket for tonight's show. So if you know what color it is, put it in there. Oh my God, that's so funny. Linda, you already got your color up. Good girl. At the end of the night, we will let you know who won. If more than one person has the correct color, we'll put their names together and pull one. Shall we jump right into the subject?
Well, I want to start with a little bit about spirit animals. And spirit animals can be totems or animals that just kind of show up when you're meditating or when you're praying real hard, and they keep showing up. And they can show up as a picture, they can show up as a regular animal, they can show up in different ways. For an example, we flew this weekend with Frontier, and that's like a first thing for us because we don't usually fly Frontier. I was always told it was the Tin Can Express airline and to never get on it because you might not come home safely. And my girlfriend said to me, really, it's not that bad. I traveled with them. I said, okay. Well, guess what? We got on the Turtle one. And when we pulled up to land and disembark, who pulls up next to us but my favorite, the dolphin? And it says it right on the nose. And my spirit animal is a dolphin. So what does that tell me? My wing buddy was the dolphins. They were there. They were checking in on me. They were making sure I was flying okay. I have no idea where this plane came from. It could have been from Alaska for all I know. I came from Florida. But it's strange little coincidences like that that'll tell you they're sending you messages. They're telling you we're right there for them. Like Nora's mom talked to the animals in the zoo. You can do that very easily. It's not an unpracticed thing, and a lot of people make a living out of it. Some vets hire people like us that can talk to professional animals. Some, I won't say who, but some people that own racehorses will call me and say, Rising Star is having a bad run. What's the problem? I was like, do you want me to do it from my home or do you want me to come down and talk eye to eye, nose to nose with the horse? Well, can you just tell us and we'll try whatever you say, and if that doesn't work, you can come down here? Sure. They're worried about how much money they're going to put in their pocket. That's all they're worried about. They don't care how I come up with the answer. They want to know, is it the feed? Does their foot hurt? Do they got a belly ache? What's their problem? Okay.
I know, and finish that because you have something really good I wanted to add to.
Okay. So I meditate and I ask my energy to go talk, my higher self to go talk to Rising Star, Stinger, whatever the horse's name is. And I connect with the animal on a spiritual level. And I say to them, I'm here to help you and aid you and heal you. What is the problem? Why don't you want to win? And they might say, the saddle's too tight and the jockey rides me wrong. Well, why does he ride you wrong? Well, he doesn't lean forward enough and he's putting too much pressure on the shoulders to the back of me. All right, so do you want me to change the saddle or do you want me to just loosen the girth? No, I want you to loosen it around the chest, not the belly. Okay. I had no idea there's two straps to a saddle. What the hell do I know? I only ever saw one. So I call him back up and I say, well, your jockey's part of the problem. And I don't know if I'm right about this, but the horse tells me that there's two straps on professional saddles for racing. He goes, so what, lady? I said, the chest one is a little tight and it's got a little rivet in there that he doesn't like and it keeps rubbing on his chest. And he can't run because he's distracted. I said, and the jockey's not riding forward enough. He's riding too far back. I said, so you got to tell him to ride closer because he's putting too much stress on the shoulders of the animal and the animal can't win. He goes, you're really telling me this, right? I said, I have no idea what I'm telling you. I'm telling you what the damn horse told me. He goes, how many carrots do I owe you for this? I said, don't worry, I'll send you a bill. You send me a response, tell me how how your workout goes. Okay, lady, because he thinks I'm crazy at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he makes the adjustments, and they found out the stable guy told me, "Oh yeah, we didn't realize there was a rip in the saddle, and it had a little tear, and that was rubbing. It had rubbed like a blister in the horse's chest, and nobody had noticed
Oh.
it. And that was what the horse was complaining about. And then when they told the jockey to stop being back in his seat and be forward over the neck of the horse so to take the stress off the shoulders, he did that and ran and won. So then the owner didn't call me back because he was too embarrassed after he insulted me, basically. And the little jockey, the barn guy, called me back, the exercise trainer, and he was like, "What else you got to tell me, lady? Because he's too embarrassed to call you."
I'd be too.
I said, "I did it as a favor for my husband. I didn't do it as a favor to anybody else." I said, "But now because he insulted me, I'm going to bill him."
Guys on Facebook, I'm sorry. Please try the link that I'm putting in the comment section. I tried to edit it on top and it wasn't working, so I apologize. Because you said something about being able to communicate with them when you're up close.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, guys, that's, we can do that. You can do that. And we're going to explain some real simple ways on how to. But Chris also gave him the option of being able to do it away. It is no different than when we're communicating with departed
Spirits.
loved ones, when we're communicating with your souls and doing readings. It's all energy. Everything is an energy. Animals are an energy. So we're reading the energy patterns. And here's the catch. They're reading you. They understand
That
you.
you get it.
Yeah, I mean, the dog whisperer, he is like so spot on about how your energy, the dog is reading your energy. He walks into a house with a troubled dog and this dog's listening immediately because it's communicating. It understands what energy. That's an energy of calm authority. So, but it's a two-way street, and you can hear and get pictures and get feelings and images, sensations, just like you do when you're reading another person. You're getting from the animal and they're communicating what's going on, which is what happened with Chris with the horse. So I got a cute story too I want to share. I was at a conference. It was only about 20 miles from my house. And I'm just in a relaxed state, and the speaker's going on and on about something with business and medicine. And all of a sudden, I get the vision of my dog, Duke was his name, the dog at the time. We had a couple at that time, but it was Duke. It was calling out to me. And I'm like, in my mind, I could see Duke couldn't get up. Now, Duke was starting to have trouble with his hind legs. He wasn't real bad, but it was like uncomfortable. It was hard for him to get up and down steps. He wasn't at the point of our other dogs, because we always had large dogs where eventually they can't get up. And I'm like, gosh, Duke, what do you want me to do? And suddenly I was like inside of his body where his hips are, and I saw all these little white flakes. And I remember sharing this with Chris. This is we use a magic eraser. And I said, oh, this looks like chalk. So I'm just going to get an eraser. And in my mind, I started erasing all the chalk around the inside of Duke's hips. So I'm not just communicating, but now we're sending healing. And so you can be sending healing to your animals, and they send healing back too. So got them all cleaned up. I said, all right, Duke, you should be good, honey. I'll see you when I get home. I'm going to be home shortly. After this conference, I walk into the house, and this 10-year-old dog acted like he was a 1-year-old puppy, jumping all over the place. He wouldn't leave me alone. Everywhere I went, he went to lay on me. He was letting me know that I understood him and I helped him. It was so cool. I never had such a great relationship with Duke before. It's like, you waited this long? But the rest of his years, his hips never bothered him. It was, something else that took him out. God, that's terrible, isn't it? But animals will tell us in images and in feelings, and we can communicate back to them. So,
You just have to be open to listening to them and
yeah.
look at them. And I am forever asking our little pet Snuggles, what is your problem now? You've pottied, you've ate, you've drank. What do you want now? And he'll look at me and he'll start doing dances around the living room. I said, now you want me to play with you? I'm like, come on, like I got time for this. So he'll play for a little while, but he thinks he's a human and he doesn't like when anybody treats him like a dog. And I asked him earlier if he would join us, and he gave me a couple licks like, yeah, I'm thinking about it, Mom. And then he jumped in Dad's lap and he was like, she's crazy. You know that, Dad. And Dad's like, I know she's crazy, dude. Come upstairs, we'll watch Westerns. And when I was looking down earlier, I texted my daughter, can you bring the dog down? And she just put LOL, LOL, Westerns. That was my answer.
The dog knows what the dog likes. Excuse me, guys.
And one night at dinner, he was sitting across the table on my daughter's lap. My fiance sitting at the head of the table, and I'm sitting across from my daughter. And the dishes had all be cleared, and he was just sitting there with his little paws on top of the table, like, I want to go sit with Mommy. And I can hear him thinking. And I sent him back the message, come on, just walk across the table. Daddy will scream, but it's okay. And he got up and he pranced across the table, looked at Daddy, and kept running for me. He acts like a human.
There's a Q&A at the bottom, guys. Just go ahead and click it and throw in any questions you have. And if you want us to check in on an animal for you, we can do that also. A little bit off the subject, but not quite, because I consider kids animals.
Oh, God. I got some. Anybody want some? I'll send them over to play at your house.
It's the same way that we communicate with babies. They don't have a language, but they understand. They have a means of communicating, even if it's not the language we're speaking, with feelings, with emotions, with symbols. So,
well, I got a story about that one.
Go ahead.
My grandson, who can't speak because he's too young, I just turned 9 months. A couple months ago, he was telling me about his nightmares that he's having. And my daughter brought him to me and said, Mom, I don't know what to do. He won't sleep. He screeches, rah, rah, rah. So she hands him to me. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to him. And all of a sudden, he looks at me and he shakes his head and then he starts screaming. Rah! I said, I understand. And I answered him back in my head. And the answer was, I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you what they are, little man. Rah! So she picks him up out of my arms and she's hysterically laughing, thinking this is funny, that a 6-month-old child is communicating. I'm talking to him and he's responding. And I'm thinking, I hear you. You don't like the answer. Well, guess what? I didn't create the answer. I can only tell you that you picked it before you came into this life. So sorry, my little man. And it's just funny. I mean, we had this conversation going back and forth for 15 minutes, and every time he wanted to answer me, he'd yell. Rah! Not a cry, a yell. And my daughter's looking to the side, laughing hysterically. Her whole body's shaking up and down. He's looking at me like, she goes, he's giving you stink face, Mom. I'm like, I got teenager. That shit don't bother me no more.
Doesn't phase us.
I said, it goes right over my head.
Casey has a question. Why does my dog Bullet seem so sluggish lately? And right away, I got something with the digestion, like a diet change of some kind.
I also pick out, does Bullet go outside? Because he might be eating grass or something, trying to heal himself, and got some chemicals in his body.
It has to do, so we're both saying the same thing. It has to do with something that he's digesting, that he's putting into his system, because right when I asked, I right away felt my stomach. And that is the way the animal would tell me, like a baby would tell me. Medical intuition is what we're using. And because we're we're just asking what's going on, and that's the easiest way for the animal to communicate. So if you change the diet, if he's outside eating grass, make sure that it hasn't been sprayed. And if you change his diet, put it back, even if the vet said no. Oh, that
Yeah.
reminds me. Chris mentioned that veterinarians believe in animal communication, some vets. I'm actually been invited on a podcast this Friday. Oh, well, we're gonna do the interview on Friday. It's gonna play on Monday, and the podcast is by a veterinarian, Doctor. I will get her name before I'm done because really phenomenal lady. I met her. I had so much fun with her, and she's got a pretty large podcast following because she does only natural, holistic things with the animals, making their food, giving them Reiki, using like acupressure points to help them, and totally agrees with the animal communication.
Melissa put in over on the chat, she says, every time Chris comes over,
Yeah.
my dogs whine and wag their tails and ask me why Pop Pop can't go for a walk. It's adorable. I talk to my pets all the time, and so do my kids. My dad was always able to communicate to animals. It's a family trait.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, her dogs are so funny. They talk to me all the time. La, 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 la. I'm like, I gotta work, guys. I gotta do this. I gotta do that.
Everybody wants to talk to Chris. So those of you who got tickets to the show will get the opportunity. Those who don't, you won't.
I want a dolphin to jump out of the ocean in the background just so I can see it.
Oh, that's the beautiful part. I mean, I was taking some pictures from Facebook Live, just showing you the view. It's unbelievable over there. Let me see. Casey says, freaking cat food. I can't keep him away from it. That's what's upsetting him. That's what's causing him the sluggishness. So, yeah, I know dogs are like, they find a way to get it. They find a way to pop open those containers. They're not dummies. The only thing I could suggest is put it in a tight container and put it way over his head where he can't get into an upper cupboard that requires you to open the door.
Well, you know what it is in the cat food that they smell? It's the actual chicken and lamb and steak. And they get all excited. Like I accidentally brought home cat treats one time because I didn't have my glasses on in PetSmart, and I just grabbed them because they looked yummy. Well, they were yummy. He ate the whole bag, and I only opened it, gave him one little treat out of it, and I closed up the bag. I came down. Don't you know? He stood on the steps, learned how to bat it down, and it was all over the front hallway. I'm like, what in God's name happened? And Lakira goes, your dog. I said, oh, it's my dog now. Yes, because he's in trouble, Mom.
And this dog's this big, guys.
He's
And
8 freaking
snuggle. He's a
pounds.
tiny little thing. It's not even like you're dealing with shepherds like I had, you know, big guys, Elation shepherds and stuff. No, little dog, this thing gets everywhere. He's amazing. He should be in gymnastics.
And if you try to make him work for his treat, he's not all about that. He lays on the floor and looks at you like, I'm not a dog, so I'm not doing tricks. And I just go, okay, well, you're not a dog and you don't need this treat, so I'll just put it away. And as soon as I go to put it away, he's like perked all up and he's going to do his little dance for me.
Yeah, here we go. One pellet is 168 wonderful fatty pounds. Yeah, that is really bad for a dog. I just want to tell you real quick, it is Dr. Judy Morgan, Naturally Healthy Pets radio show. So just to go along with the fact that even vets believe in animal communication.
Erin
Uh,
wrote a
yeah, go
thing
ahead.
on the
Read
thing.
Aaron's story.
I have a story about my son. I had to have emergency C-section deliver him. So we got home and I'm napping off incision pain upstairs. Unbeknownst to me, my in-laws stopped in and my mother gave
My
my
husband made the
husband's
decision.
made the decision to let his mother give our son his first bath. Suddenly I have this dream that somebody is trying to drown my son on lilac scented water. I wake up to hear him screaming. I waddle downstairs to find my mother-in-law is bathing him with lilac scented shampoo, and he was very, very mad. LOL decision.
Okay, those babies are just like the animals. He was communicating out to his mama. This ain't right. Something's wrong. Oh
Come
my God.
save me, Mom.
Really. Linda wants to know, is there anything bothering my dog Bricks at all that I should know? What I'm getting when I asked him is there's a lot going on for you right now. Emotionally, you feel like there's a lot on your shoulders. You're being weighed down. And what happens, guys, is our pets, especially dogs, will pick up that energy and try to carry it for you to lighten your burden. Very often, whatever illness somebody has in the family, the dog ends up with. That's why they are trying to protect you. So he's trying to take the emotional stress from you, and obviously that's not going to work. So find a way to release it and thank them. Tell them it's not necessary. Give them a little shoulder massage because it's like all up in here. How about you, Chris? What does he tell you?
Bricks is just, he's so wound up so tightly from all the up and down emotions going through the house. It's like a whirlwind. And daddy's just as upset as mommy. So he doesn't know whether he's coming or going. And they're saying, just let him relax. Put some lavender in a like a scented pillow, or put some lavender in a diffuser. Just kind of let him chill out. Put some background music on that is soft and relaxing, because both of you need it.
Create
They're
a
saying,
calm space.
yeah, they're saying you guys both need it. Now Becky's on the Q&A and she said, this is Angie, and I'm wondering why my dog Allie is so pissed off. Thanks.
So Angie jumped in on Becky. Okay.
The dog's pissed off because he feels like everybody keeps moving his shit around and he's not really welcome anymore. He keeps looking around like, why do they keep moving my stuff?
And I
And
don't know.
there's a little
I,
person around.
I was just going to say, I don't know if there's some kind of male energy that entered in that is making him very displaced, like not the dog himself doesn't feel welcomed now because of it. So I just want to say Casey has an Australian CUR. I'm not sure what that is, but a Rhodesian Ridgeback mix. And let me tell you, the Ridgeback in my family, don't let this out, is actually my favorite grandbaby. She's great. I love her. Her name is Ellie. She's beautiful. Don't tell my other grandchildren that are human. They might get upset. I'm confessing a lot today between my mother and my kids. I'm gonna be shot at the next Sunday get together.
You're going to be homeless. You might as well come over.
Linda says, wow, thank you so much. I will go thank him now and let him relax. Thank you. That will
All
be
right.
a good idea. Go ahead. You got Casey?
Casey's on Q&A and says, I know I ask quite a bit, but I also need to know why my other dog, Ruger, seems so uncomfortable. He is scared of everything. The previous owners claim they didn't beat him, but he's so hesitant to do anything. Ruger doesn't like men at all because it may not have been the last owners, but the owners before that beat him. And he's trying to process his feelings, especially around male men. Be careful around the male people.
And
And
I'm getting one hard shot. He was given one hard shot once.
mhm,
That's all it took.
yeah, when he
That's
was
why he's
young.
afraid of, yeah, he's afraid of men because of that. Um, I can tell you what we did to help get a dog out of it. And it amazingly worked pretty fast. We had different men who we were close to, who were friendly. When they were coming to the house, give our dog French fries. I know French fries aren't healthy, whatever, but he likes French fries. And as time went on, these different male energies who would present him with a couple French fries while they were there, not a lot, a half an order, because he was an Elation Shepherd, they're big. Uh, he ended up liking men a lot. I don't know if that's helpful, but
Well, give them something that you know they like, whether it's cut up steak pieces or just something you can keep a little treat around for them, and let whatever they're afraid of, if you it's a psychological block, so what psychologists will tell you is rapid and constant dealing with that problem lessens the sting of that problem. So if you constantly just leave like a little treat, and my dog is very old, he doesn't like new people. So we get the new people to give him a treat. And he's like, okay, I guess I like them for the minute. And then 5 minutes later, he's
yeah,
barking at him again. So it goes back and forth. It's a free
yeah.
will thing with them too.
And it will usually, I mean, who knows? It worked for us. Melissa, my dad's dog had lymphoma. He decided to treat her holistically and conventionally. I swear to this day she was preparing him for his coming illness of cancer. I believe it. We learned so much from my dog about Reiki, ionic therapy, oils. It led him and I to a whole new world that I live by now. I am forever grateful for her. That's beautiful. I got goosebumps. That is beautiful. Yeah. She was picking up that energy ahead of time, and that is, she was absorbing it, or he probably would have gotten it sooner. And in the process, saved him and helped you guys learn stuff.
Well, Melissa says, and I know they are now together running rabbits and living
Life
life
on
on
the
the
other side.
And Casey has a follow-up. She says, I got him at 6 months ago.
Oh, the mix. The mix. Uh, Becky, yes, it's Chewy, the male dog. Laugh out loud. Okay, so you got to help me here. We knocked out the questions. I'm not sure what she means, but hopefully you guys get it.
It was the interaction of the male entity
Oh,
that was
oh,
taken
okay.
over. And
Great.
we thought it was a person, but it's not a person. It's another dog, and he's alpha mailing him, is what Becky's saying. Right, Beck?
The male dog. Yes, it's Chewy, the male dog. I guess. Okay, guys. Let's not forget. Let's get some colors in here. So far, only one person put up a color. You get the color right, you get the last free ticket to the show on Saturday. There are still some offers left.
Thank you,
Um,
Beck.
there are still tickets available. And oh yeah, yes, Chris. And I just want to tell you real quick. We are going to have the ladies from the crystals, why am I like drawing a blank? I just had a treatment with Elena,
The shaman.
the shaman. We're going to have Elena there. We're going to have Susan Swineback from the radio show. They do a great show. Actually, they do several shows, Awakening, The Unknown. And they do several shows through radio station. You can hear them live on Facebook too. In fact, a lot of you guys have started like crossing over and checking both of us out. They're going to be there. They're coming in from Massachusetts just to meet anybody and share a little bit on the side, on the tables. What else do we have? Jewelry, crystal jewelry that's going to be there.
Stones. I went stone
Stones, yeah.
shopping,
So now
and we made up little
Mhm.
packages for everybody to buy, 5 different topics: health and wellness, spiritual protection, spiritual growth, abundance, and I forget what the other one is, but I'm excited. And we're going to tell you what's in each little package and what it does, a little couple words about what they do. And we're even going to give you a little star. In the package price comes charging stations. So you can't get lost in the weeds. We've made it like so 1, 2, 3. You guys, it's just too exciting. And the jewelry, I handpicked it for you, myself. I went shopping for you ladies because there's certain things that you must have: grounding stones, clearing stones, healing stones, and we're going to tell you what each one's for.
Linda's excited to go. We're excited to have you guys. Make sure you put a color in. If you're in, you can give the ticket away if you're not in the neighborhood. If you're down in, hey, we haven't had our Texas buddy here. My wheelchair hasn't come in and I won't show up.
Or I would show up.
um, Emily, sorry, I joined a little late. Well, then that's it, Emily. We're not answering your question. I had an amazing bond with my dog, Diesel. We had to put him down a year ago, and I was distraught over it. We even had a vet come to the house to determine if it was time, but I still beat myself up over it. I would give anything to see my Diesel again and know that he is okay. Is there anything you can? Is there any way you can get signs from a deceased pet? Oh my gosh, yes, there is, and I got a great story for you. And then we'll tap in and see what Diesel has to say, just so you know they can still communicate. But I was telling you about Duke earlier and how amazing it was to be able to communicate with him. I had to put him down, and he knew that this was the day. And it was like, he looked the best. I was like, what the heck? He was happy to get in the car. He was like, yes, the pain is going to end. I'm like, this is bizarre, but I'm hearing this dog. He's joyful. He's happy. He knows what's happening. Sheba, who was home, yelped a cry that I've never heard a dog yelp before. It was so loud, so heart-wrenching. She knew he wasn't coming home. I took Duke, and the moment Duke was no longer there, he was right next to his body. Right there. And he just looked at me and then looked ahead and looked at me again and then looked ahead and boom, just ran off. I said, son of a gun, that was amazing. I was so grateful for that gift because I did not have that with another dog that I was just heart-wrenchingly attached to. But I got to have that experience with Duke. We got home, my friend and I got home, and I'm sitting on my floor. Sheba is being a very good shepherd. She's protecting me. She's got her paws on my legs. She's in that stance that those shepherds take when they're in protective mode and not moving because mama's crying and she knows something's not all right because Duke isn't coming home. And all of a sudden she's like this. And I can hear the dogs paws running all over my second floor. Literally, I could hear them. And it was Wolfschanz, the dog that I really was so attached to, and Duke. And I was like, oh, honey, that's Duke and Wolfschanz. You'll meet Wolfschanz eventually. It's not your time yet. I just wanted to share that with you because they're happy, they're playful, and they're still with us, even though they are not with us physically, just like humans. All right, that was a long story, but I had to share it.
That's
They are
okay.
amazing. They are amazing spirit energies, and they'll be with you. I mean, I still have conversations with Wolfschanz. There was something not right in my house, and I actually asked my guardian angel, "Can you call Wolfschanz down? I know he'll make sure everything's cleared out." So, what can we pick up about Diesel to help you out?
He's thrilled. He's thrilled that you still think about him and you talk to him in your heart.
And
He
go
goes,
ahead.
she doesn't hear me, lady. Can you turn her speakers on?
He's showing me his body is very muscular and round. I'm almost seeing, I mean, I'm not real good at naming types of dogs, but it's that like
Like a bulldog.
yeah, kind of feel. So that's what it's showing me, and it's very strong. So if he wasn't a bulldog, he might be back as one. But I think he was. Just wanted to put that out for you. I hope that helps you, honey.
He says that it'll be okay for you to get a new animal. Have you been asking him if you should get a new animal?
He was a lab pit mix, and she just wanted to know if it was the right thing. He's so happy, honey. It was the right thing. It was the right thing. That dog is very happy right now. And that makes sense why he looks like that.
Right. So Like he
Dog
has
gets
incredible strength.
bad names. Yeah, yeah, really strong dog. Those of you over on Facebook, if you can't jump in, that's okay. Just put your color down and stay hanging on because we're going to keep an eye. Let's go.
Okay, let's teach
Colors are
them how
near.
to do it, Nora.
Oh my gosh, we're so busy doing it, we're not teaching them. Okay, go ahead. You want to start, and then I'll throw in what I want to throw in.
Okay. All right. Guys, it's easier if you can have your pet in front of you or close to you. If you can touch them, you can feel their energy, and that helps you to feel their responses, so to speak. You're going to hear them in your head, and you're not going to necessarily hear them by your ear. Okay, so don't get frustrated with yourself if that's what happens. All right. I usually just look down and ask him, so what's your problem? And he tells me. And sometimes it's, the kids will bring them to me and say, Mommy's acting funny. Can you do your thing? Sure. And I look at him and go, what's your problem? My daughter says, he's not a human, Mom. He's a dog. I said, don't say those words. He doesn't like them. So he'll explain to me, and I'll feel it either on my body or I'll ask for a silhouette of his body to be put up. I'll ask God, and I'll just say a quick prayer, and I say, let me show me how to help him, and him or her, whichever it is. And they'll show you what area it is. Then I always ask them, is this something I can heal at home? And they'll if they say yes, I'll ask them, is it a dietary thing or is it a physical hands-on healing thing? And they'll tell me, A, it's a dietary thing, but you can heal his GI system with some figure eights and some energy healing. Do I need to take him to the vet? Sometimes they'll tell me yes, and I just tell the kids, pack him up, put his harness on, we're off to the vets. And they're like, you can't just do that, Mom. I said, really? Watch me. The dog says he needs to go to the vet. He needs to go to the vet. I said, that's not a place he likes to go. So they'll tell you what the real problem is, and they'll give you guided imagery, like we were explaining, as to what they think the problem is. Whether it's a GI upset or if it's, their hips, and we can fix it with healing, hands-on healing. Sometimes I just take my hands and I go to one client's house for small parties, and every time her dog comes up to me and is like so excited that I'm in the house, and she knows that she's going to get petted and I'm going to fix her hips. And I just use my hands, and I ask God to bring the healing in. I breathe it in, I hold it, and then I express it out. And I do that 2 times. And then on the third time, I send it through my hands. See how red my hands get? My hands already know that I'm already calling for the healing to come through. I mean, they get like cherry red, like really cherry red. See how red? I'm not making that up, guys. I mean, and when I put them on something or someone, they're hot. Like they're like hot like a griddle. And sometimes the dog will wiggle and be like, yo, can you turn it down some? I'll be like, dude, you asked for it. So you have to talk to them in their head. Sometimes you can talk to them out loud. Um, they will work with you. And sometimes they'll wiggle so that your hands land on the exact spot that they need. And what I do is I pull the energy out and down so it leaves that situation. I let it heat up and heal the area it's supposed to. I do some figure eights, and then I pull it out.
Mhm.
And then I put protective bubbles over them, like big figure eights, and I put them in a big green healing bubble.
And just if I can interject real quick, if you're not sure what's wrong, but you know there's something wrong, you can do exactly what Chris is saying and still be able to help the animal. When I'm communicating with them, I am doing the same thing I do with people. First of all, I don't do it without a prayer of protection.
Mhm.
Nothing without protection. I also am very aware of the intuitive footprint. If I'm not getting the right kind of signal, I stop immediately. Do not think dark entities cannot interfere with animals. They can interfere with animals, they can interfere with people. They don't interfere with animals as much, though, because they're such clear souls. Um, so it's a lot safer. Again, once you say the prayer of protection, then it's just you ask in your mind, what's going on? But ask with an open heart. It is important to have the emotion of curiosity or the emotion of caring, not just curiosity, it has to have some love and caring. They have to feel that type of vibration. And then they're giving you back the energy, and it's a matter of how you interpret it. And it comes with years of experience, but when you start identifying the energy, it's exponential learning. It doesn't take, I mean, we've been doing it for years, so we have a huge vocabulary of what the energies mean to us. But you learn really quick and you start to make connections. So just do it with the pets, even do it with wildlife, like Chris was mentioning earlier in the show. There's a bumblebee just like hanging around a plant that's nearby. Just get close and just move out and ask the bumblebee if it would share with you and see what happens. See what you pick up. Practice with wildlife might be easier only because you don't already have a set conversation in your mind about your pet. It's just
I
a,
do it with squirrels, birds, and butterflies. It's great.
I like doing it with the bees. Yeah, that's and birds. I do like doing it with birds, especially seagulls. What else can we recommend? They do hear, they don't hear they, first of all, dogs and cats do have a certain amount of our language that they understand means certain things, like want to go for a walk, boom, out the door. They know that. Um, but their language is different than ours, so they are communicating with symbols because they'll see it in their mind and show it to us. So it's not as difficult as picking up symbols from a dream. They're more direct. Like they don't
They're
show,
very clear.
right. They don't show you an apple hoping that you know that that means they are healthy or whatever a symbol of apple is. They show you themselves as strong, and then it's like, okay, wow, he just presented really strong. There's nothing physically wrong. That's great. What do you want to do? And it might just be they want to spend some time with you, loving you in that moment of conversation. It doesn't have to be big. It's just a sharing.
Yeah, the animals are really good at telling you what they need or want. And they'll send it through symbols, feelings. I'm so used to talking to the dogs, it's just like second nature to me. And the racehorses, it's just like the phone will ring. Can you fix my thing? Your what? Your horse? Well, I kind of feel like strange calling you and asking me, but the buddy down the road said that you do a really good job. I'm like, what's your problem? So it's like I'm the nasty kept secret. Nobody wants to admit they use me, but I can tell you all the little horsies that have problems and what this one likes and that one doesn't like.
But
Now,
she
Casey
won't,
puts up
because that would be
unethical.
unethical, right? Can't let you know when Trey's horse is not feeling well today.
On the chat, Casey put up, I had a dog as a child, got her when I was 4. Her name was Abby. My mother made us leave her as we moved to Florida. I think she's saying when I was 14. She followed me everywhere and saved me from a pack of wolves,
Mm.
snowmobiling one time. She used to follow us onto the school bus. She didn't want us to go to school.
Oh,
I,
precious.
I think she wants to know, can we talk to Abby for her? I think that's what Casey's asking for in a roundabout way.
Okay.
Casey got a good family after you guys left her, but she never forgot you, and she still
Yeah.
comes back.
She was confused and heartbroken and didn't understand. But as time went on, started making the connections with you again. So she still could energetically connect and know that you guys were okay, which made it okay for her.
And then Emily says, yes, I've been thinking so much about him lately. I want to get another one at some point. I just don't know that I'm ready.
You'll know when you're ready. You'll know when you're
Mhm.
ready. Go visit a dog pound. Watch how fast you're ready. But no,
You are your bad influence.
oh my God, I love dogs. And if I didn't
So do
try,
I, but
and yeah, if I didn't have the active life that, not being home as much as I used to be. I'd have two dogs again. I mean, you got to have two. Can't just have one. They got to have each other for company, somebody to play with.
My puppy
Um,
doesn't like friends. He's like, this is my house. Thanks very much. Go away.
I don't think anyone wants to come to our show. We only have 10 minutes left. I'm going to tell you right now all the colors that were guessed are wrong. The funny thing is, I told Chris, let's pick blue. And she says, nah, let's pick. And she picked a different color. And I said, all right, we'll do your color. So those of you who picked blue are picking up my thought, but it's not the color.
Yeah, Erin
And
thinks she hears purple, but I keep
yeah,
seeing
that wasn't
pale
in it
blue.
either. Purple, blue, and there was somebody else mentioned another color. I think somebody else mentioned violet. And just for the record, it's not red. I know I was playing a trick last week by using that color 2 weeks in a row. So there, we gave you a lot of hints. You got 10 minutes left. Linda wants to know, how can I find out which animal is my spirit animal? You can ask in a dream. You can go on a journey. Journeying is probably the best way to do that, in my opinion. What would yours be, Chris?
What to talk
To
with the
to
animals?
to find out what is your spirit animal. I would recommend journeying, but
Yeah, that's the fastest way
okay, now
because you're seeing it for yourself and nobody's telling you it.
right.
Because you don't want to get any interference when you're picking your spirit animal or deep, deep meditation.
And
And
I
I'm
just
talking like an hour deep.
and I think at least 4 or 5 people probably said journeying. What's journeying? That's another show. But journeying technically, it's not just Native American, a lot of Native people. It's the using of a beat, say a beat of a drum, or you can do it to, believe it or not, you could do it to a metronome. When you're like the tick 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 that you use when you're learning to play an instrument and have the right timing. It's that just that constant clicking, or the beat
Rhythmic.
beat. It's thank you. That's the word I was looking for. And you mm, plan out before you go in what it is you're asking for, what it is you're looking for, and how you're going to take this journey. Are you going to take this journey up through the sky? You're going to take it into the earth. I mean, there's all different ways. There are so many different ways to do journeying. And again, I would not recommend it if you do not know the intuitive footprint and if you do not pray for protection beforehand. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Not safe. We don't
Okay.
practice anything that's not safe.
Casey says she can't go to the show, but she picks orange. All right, if you win, you could give it away. Melissa has purple and green. All
I
right,
think she's
guys.
just picking the whole rainbow.
Right?
Erin,
It's a little
Erin's,
cheating there.
Erin called me the animal whisperer. See, I love Erin. She makes me feel good.
All right, I'm going to jump on Facebook real quick and just see. When I miss my mom, my cat Casper comes and gives me hugs. That's from Nicole over on Facebook side. Oh, that's sweet, honey. That's nice. And she's also wrote, I lost my dog Daisy when I was in my 20s, and I got another dog, and he reminds me of my dog Daisy. The problem with Facebook here is as it feeds down, guys, we can't see it, which is kind of the reason why we do the live and we ask the questions over here because we feel really bad when we miss it on the Facebook side. So if you can, next time join us inside the webinar. We always put the link out there. You get an email reminder, so that way I'm sure there was other questions, and when the show is over, we can see the whole feed. We just can't see it now. Oh wait, let me see. I also was asked once, when you communicate with the animals, is it like telepathy? And it actually is. It's more like telepathy. I mean, in my opinion, than anything else. I mean, I think you can have a full out conversation with an animal and a baby using telepathy better than you can with an adult because even when you're starting to succeed with the adult, you just can't believe it. So you start reasoning it away and then you stop doing it.
Well, plus also adults have agendas.
Right.
Animals and children have no agendas.
True. True. That's probably the bigger point. Um, I want to see here because I scribbled down a few things. No, I think we kind of covered it all. Does anyone have any other questions on how to do it? I mean, it's really very simple. So let's talk about the show. And then we're going to announce our winner if we got one. We'll scan through real quick. Um, get those colors in there before I'm done. So the Atlantic City show, it starts at 1 o'clock. But the admission, the doors open at 12:30. When we say it starts at 1 o'clock, we're reading. We're going to be boom reading. Chris and I are going to take only a few breaks. During that time, you'll get the opportunity to meet the Susan Swineback from the radio shows. You'll get to meet the Crystal, Elena, have an opportunity to look at some of my books. And then we go right back into the readings. We have homemade cookies and brownies being made by our friend Barbara, who made the delicious cookies and snacks for our last show in Philadelphia for no other reason. Come for them. I already told her, Chris and I have dibs on anything not taken. Nothing goes back with her.
Yum. I have extra insulin reserved for that.
It's a beautiful location. It's the Atlantic City Aquarium, and you have free admission to the aquarium. So I strongly suggest get there 1 hour before our doors open on the second floor because it's beautiful and it's not very big. So you can probably see the whole thing in an hour and really enjoy it. And with that, we only have a few minutes left. So last call for colors. Going once, going twice. We'd like to announce that Melissa, you won, sweetheart. The color was green. So you know I'm not cheating. There it is right there. See, green. And I will, woohoo, yay, we're going to see you there, I hope. And then if you have to give it to somebody else, you just have to let me know who. And off of this, I just message me your email and I will make sure it gets to you tonight. Something keeps saying green, but I wanted to say something bright, dang it. Aw, Casey, come anyway. Come on.
She can't come. That was the whole problem.
Oh, right. Okay. Thank God Chris has such an awesome memory. Me, I'm like in the moment and that's it. If it's gone, it's gone.
It's right there in the chat. There's no memory about it.
That's it, guys. It's another awesome show. Thank you so much for joining us. I really look forward to seeing you guys and actually getting to hug some of you in person and putting real faces and bodies to your names. It's going to be really
That's
exciting
going to
on
be the fun
Saturday.
of it.
Yeah, and we have to be out of the aquarium by 4:30 because they're setting up for a wedding. But it's a gorgeous weekend. We'll be hanging outside the aquarium for as long as it takes. So make sure we get to hug everybody who comes. So good night, guys. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.